So can you actually make money selling AI prompts? I saw this experiment where someone put it to the test for 7 straight days, starting with literally $0 and no followers, just to see if it's a real side hustle or, just more internet hype. Let's break down exactly what happened.
Right out of the gate, the whole feeling was basically, I really don't think anyone is going to buy this. And that's what makes this so relatable, right? This wasn't some expert with a massive audience. It was an experiment that came from pure curiosity and, frankly, a ton of skepticism, which makes the results way more interesting.
So the whole thing was called the $0 AI Challenge, and the main rule was simple. You have to start with absolutely nothing. This wasn't about using some pre-existing advantage. It was all about seeing if this could actually work from square one.
And when I say starting from nothing, I mean it. The rules were super strict. Capital, a big fat $0. Audience, nope, none. No social media followers, no email list. They didn't even have a product yet. The only tool they could use was ChatGPT, with a hard deadline of just 7 days.
Okay, so the first thing on the to-do list was just creating the product. But instead of spending weeks building something super complex, the approach was way smarter. They just asked ChatGPT to generate 3 really valuable prompts. Things like a prompt for a viral YouTube script or one for a business idea generator. Simple, fast, and straight to the point. So the product gets created, and on day 2, it's launched on a platform called Gumroad. And then came the hardest part of any new project, the sound of silence. The waiting game had officially begun. Let's just look at those first 72 hours. Day 1 was all about creating and packaging the prompts. Day 2 was the big launch. But by day 3, there was just nothing. No notifications, no emails, no signs of life whatsoever. It was a serious test of patience. And this just perfectly captures the reality for most people starting something new. After all that initial effort and excitement, the result was a big, round 0. 0 sales. It really feels like you're just shouting into an empty room.
And this is that critical moment, isn't it? Hitting that wall of silence is where so many good ideas just die. It's that point of maximum doubt where your brain starts telling you, see, I knew this wasn't going to work.
But instead of quitting, there was a pivot, a moment of reflection that led to a huge realization. Maybe the entire approach was wrong. And this led to the single most important change in the whole experiment, the real aha moment.
Here was the crucial insight. The prompts themselves were fine, but the packaging was all wrong. The first title, AI Prompts, is just, okay, whatever. But changing it to Make Money with AI Prompts Beginner Pack? Now you're selling a specific outcome to a specific person. It's the classic difference between selling a feature and selling a result.
And I'm telling you, this was not a small tweak. This changed everything. This one simple change in the title completely flipped the script. It was the difference between being totally invisible and finally getting noticed.
Almost immediately after that one change, the silence was finally broken. You could literally see the data start to change. The first signs of a breakthrough were appearing.
And it all started with this, just one click. Okay, it wasn't a sale yet, but it was proof. It proved the new title was grabbing people's attention. Someone out there was interested enough to see what was inside. It was that first little spark of hope.
And you can just imagine, after that first click, the anticipation starts to build. All it takes is that one person to validate your whole idea. And then, finally, it happened. Boom, the first sale. Just $5. But honestly, it felt like $1 million. This was the proof of concept. It meant a complete stranger on the internet was willing to pay real money for something created for free. That one moment validated everything.
So that first sale obviously wasn't just luck. It was the direct result of that specific strategy pivot. So let's actually break down the repeatable formula that made this work.
Okay, so here's the core blueprint. First, make a dead simple product. Seriously, don't overthink it. Second, obsess over the title because that's your entire first impression. Third, pick a niche where people are already looking to spend money, like, making money. And fourth, and this one is huge, realize that how you market your product is way more important than the product itself.
But let's have a quick reality check here. This is not some magic button for passive income. You have to actively figure out how to get eyes on your product. And your market positioning? It's non-negotiable. Most people fail because they miss these key ingredients.
But here's the beautiful part. Even with the initial work, that digital asset is now built. That little pack of prompts can, in theory, be sold over and over again, forever.
with zero extra cost. That's the incredible power of digital products.
So after 1 week of starting from zero, pivoting from failure, and getting that first incredible taste of success, what was the final result? Well, the experiment ended with a small but very real profit, proving that this simple model actually works. So I guess that leaves us one big question. Is this the easiest digital product for a beginner to start with? It's definitely not magic money, but it might just be one of the lowest risk, easiest ways to get into the game. What do you think?